how is Forest City as a company handling negative or whatever is being said?
No, I understand. Okay, I think for lack of better word, I think the misconception surrounding Forest City is because of the lack of awareness, the true awareness of the project. I think our company has a part in playing this because we have been very quiet, especially at times when there are some criticisms and allegations, and that's why today we are coming out to share our side of the story. But more importantly, I would like to put it out there first before sharing any of our story is not being defensive, but rather just letting everyone understand the true nature of the project. But we would also say that whatever the government is giving us, the feedback and input, I think it's constructive. Because if the government do not value your project or do not feel that you're important enough, they wouldn't care about you, they wouldn't comment. And that is the attitude that my management and my board takes. We value whatever input that the government gives, and we value it, and we hope that with that feedback, we can actually put it into implementation to improve our project processes and the entire direction moving forward. So you were asking me what is my communication with the ministry. I think we have engaged with the ministry and we have our meetings and our discourse, and in short there are some of the allegations that were previously mentioned that was not true. For example, buy one free one. We have explained that the buy one free one in itself is not true because Country Garden Holdings, the mother company, is actually listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange. So if you talk about Country Garden Pacific-Ville Sdn Bhd, which is the master developer of Forest City, is actually two separate entities. There's no way that we can say buy a product in China and you get free one. This is absolutely ludicrous because there are two different accounting standards, there's two different books that will be audited, and most importantly, it's two different business regions. Plus, Country Garden Pacific-Ville is a joint venture with local Johor state government. It's not a full 100% entity owned by Country Garden Holdings, so there's no such thing of a related party transaction, and there might even be a transfer pricing issues which auditors would have flagged up years ago. So that one does not actually have any of this truth to it. But another most important thing is currently we have 2 billion ringgit sitting in the HDA account, and this has been verified by the ministry. The 2 billion sitting means what? It means that these monies of the purchasers that have purchased the properties, they actually transacted in Malaysia. Otherwise, there's no way there is money in the Malaysia's HDA account. And it's not something that we can put it there. Each buyers who purchase the property are required under the HDA Act to put the sums and the stakeholder into HDA in the event that there's any problem with the project, the government can take over. So there is no such thing as saying that, oh, the transactions are all done in China, then you buy one in China, you free one here. Because if that is the case, where does the 2 billion come from? So that is all these are the examples of the allegations that we have actually explained to the ministry and they have verified. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that there are countless allegations which are not true or misconception. For example, another one would be saying everything is imported from China. This is totally not true also, because under MITI, there's a regulation that says that cement and concrete as well as steel has to be procured 100% locally. This ruling does not apply to us, only everyone. Not a single cement, concrete or steel bar has been imported from China. Then there were allegations that even toilet paper is from there. It's not true. We use the local Kleenex Premier under NTPM. So there are a lot of things that are being said, but it's actually not true.
You mentioned that you are trying to go for a more global international market.
Yes.
But overall in Malaysia, the sentiment is still Forest City is a Chinese township. What are you trying, YB Jimmy mentioned yesterday that he's also asking you guys to go for a bigger market.
Yes.
How are you doing that?
There's no way that Forest City from the beginning is only targeting targeting buyers from a single nationality or country, because that is not a direction of building a global metropolis. That is not the direction of building a future city for international markets. In fact, when we talk about our strategy, we actually set up 9 sales galleries across 9 different countries and 13 sales galleries in Malaysia. I'll repeat again, the 9 sales galleries is in UK, US, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Korea, Japan. And we also recently opened up a rep office in Dubai. So we're actually looking at markets that actually has not been a traditional market in Malaysia. But apart from that, if you're talking about building up a future city that caters to the international market, we must not forget that the local participation is key. Because Malaysia is the home country, is the home turf. So even more that we must get them involved. But in terms of why the proportion of buyers from China is more significant, or China countries such as Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau, is because Country Garden in itself is the biggest developer in China, and currently the biggest developer in the world. So their database naturally is from the home country, which is these four places: Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, as well as China. It's just like how our Malaysian developers, be it SP Setia, Gamuda, or all the big boys who have project overseas, when they have their project overseas, they first market to their own database, which is the Malaysians. Very simple project in mind would be Battersea. So when Sime Darby, EPF, and SP Setia expand overseas, the first two phases predominantly are bought up by their Malaysian database, Malaysian home buyers. So it's actually the same. We just started off this way, but then with that, we're going to diversify and open up new channels subsequently. Like I say, the project of Forest City is at its infancy. It's not even 3 years. In fact, it's just over about 3 years. And 3 years usually you take to just construct a small little project with probably at most 1,000 units, and you obtain the CCC. But we actually build up a city. So there are a lot of things that people still don't understand. Some people who came here thought that, Forest City, I thought you only had the sales schedule, but no, when they realized that there's others, they realized how fast we have progressed. So a project at its infancy, predominantly at this moment in time, the segment maybe is skewed towards a certain demographic. In the very near future, this demographic will reduce and change. So I can quote the Malaysian Reserve report that was actually produced 3 months ago. We have engaged a lot of Indonesian buyers, Singapore, as well as Middle Easterners in the past 3 months. And this actually the significant proportion has increased.
Some of the rumors that have come out of Forest City, one of it is that you guys are helping or giving Chinese Malaysian citizenships. So and then YB Jimmy said that when he conveyed this to the Chinese, when he went there, and then they were like, "Are you joking? We don't want Malaysian citizenship." So can you tell us how the rumor started and why is it going around?
I think this is a very unfounded allegation that has spread like wildfire. I think mainly because of a misconception. I will explain it in a little detail. Number one is we don't give out visas. We are not the government. We don't have authority to give out visas. We don't give out green card. We don't give out permanent residence. Our project has been here for about 3 years now. No buyers, no investors, or no management, foreign expatriates of Forest City has been given any green card or permanent residences. 0. But we do have this scheme that we actually do, which is called the Malaysia My Second Home Program. The Malaysia My Second Home Program is a program under the Ministry of Tourism and Arts and Culture, subject to the approval of Home Ministry. Investors in Malaysia who wants to stay here for a 10-year tenure, they need to invest in Malaysia and also put in a fixed deposit amount of, if I'm not mistaken, 300,000 in one of the local banks, primarily for retirement living and having their second home in Malaysia, like a holiday home, tourist home. So this scheme has been established since 2002. As of today, I checked, as of 2017, there's 35,000 approved applicants from all over the world. I think China residences is about 3,000 plus, if I'm not mistaken. I would just like to state that our project today, how many approved applicants? This number can be verified with Motec. There's only 886 approved applicants out of the 35,000 that has been approved since the conceptualization of MM2H. And these 886 approved applicants are people who actually choose to come here to send their children for education, or they come here for retirement living, as per how the scheme was devised. That's it. 886, and it's not even 5% of our buyers, home buyers. Not even 5%, so it's a negligible amount. This Malaysia My Second Home Program is a scheme devised by the government to attract tourists and foreign investments in the country. If the government has a policy like this, and there are people who wants to apply, we actually, all we do from our end as Forest City is we introduce them to the agents who will help them, licensed agents by the government, who will help them with the application process. That's it. On our end, we do not help with the approval process. We do not help with granting any visas. And we definitely do not tell them that if you can buy a property here, you'll be guaranteed this scheme. No way. Because we are not the government. We are just a private company being part of running this, master developing this project. So I think this is a very big misconception. And when you talk about MM2H program, it's not only in Forest City that is applicable. In fact, every state in Malaysia, you can put in an application for MM2H as long as you meet the criteria, including criminal background check and whatnot.